What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a showcase with Shiftry in the Ultra League. Yes, the return of an OG grass type Pokemon. And for those of you who have been around since the early days back in 2020, let me know in the comments what team that Shiftry broke out into the meta with, as you guys will get some bonus brownie points for remembering that. And if you guys don't, well, just check out the comments to see what the meta team back in the day used to be. Now, shout out to Charlemagne102 for sharing these battles with us. Unfortunately, because of the sizing of the battle screen, I have to get rid of the Pokemon moves and all that stuff, but you guys will see the Pokemon here in a second. And I don't think it's too big of a deal because you'll understand the moveset after the first battle. So let's go and get right into it. All right, getting into the first battle, we have Shiftry on the lead versus Galvantula as the what are they called? The Pokeball Plus or whatever is auto catching or auto spinning stops. But we have a Galvantula lead and a swap into Clodsire here with a Jellicent answer as they go ahead and go for the Earthquake. Now Clodsire, pretty nice safe swap. If you guys didn't see the showcase yesterday from Felrose with Clodsire, it was actually performing very, very well against the Ultra League meta, even though it's so far behind in terms of combat power, right? Because it maxes out at like 2207 or right around there, as Jellicent was looking to go for Surf number 2. Now, the great thing about Shiftry here, as well as the Grass Dark typing, so long as Jellicent doesn't have Ice Beam, which most don't, it is a surprise if they do, but most don't have it, Shiftry could come in and fully farm down with Snarl, but they have to risk the potential Ice Beam no shield here. So let's see if they're going to go ahead and fully farm down. Yeah, they're going to commit to that farm down. This is a juicy farm down. This is where Shiftry really shines, as they can easily let the Shadow Ball go through and then fully farm down. And now this Galvantula is going to get hit with some... Oh, it's going to be a Mandibuzz in the back. So Nidoqueen going to go ahead and swap in. And Shadow Nidoqueen can go on a tear right here against Galvantula with the Poison Jab, Poison Fang combination as they go ahead and let the lunge go through, as it will be resisted. Now, because of the moveset here on Galvantula, Nidoqueen's in a great position to still win this like post-mid-game matchup and come out of here with a lot of energy, so that they can farm down. Fully taking advantage of wherever this battler is sitting to do some GBL sets as they're spinning stops and catching Pokemon. That's gotta feel amazing if you have that many resources around you while you're playing. Me personally, I feel like I'm like most players. The house that I live in has no Pokestops, no gyms. There is one, like there's gyms like nearby, like I have to walk a little ways. But I got nothing on top of the house, unfortunately, as they do get a shield right there. And you might be wondering, why did they shield? Shiftry does have access to the charge move Hurricane, so they're probably looking out for that. But Shiftry now just going to go ahead and unleash Leaf Blades right here, trying to do as much damage as possible, as it will do some nice chip damage here. And then look to save shields for Nidoqueen to farm down with Poison Jab and Poison Fang. Yeah, so this is looking to be a good game. I mean, Mandibuzz can still build up a lot of energy, but Shiftry thankfully had so much loaded energy from farming down the Jellicent that the Nidoqueen is going to go ahead and come in and take quick work here of the Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz, I don't think, can get to 3 Aerial Aces in time, which means Nidoqueen is just going to take it, especially since they got the fast move through right there. They can safely shield, and then I think one more fast move and the Mandibuzz goes down. Let's find out. Yep, that's going to be it. So that is going to be a good game as Nidoqueen is able to take it here in the end game, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right, moving into the next one, we have, let's see here, Shiftry on the lead versus Alolan Ninetales. Very tough lead. But obviously, oh, it's Charmeleon Ninetales as well. And we do see a Tapu Fini come in. Okay, both Pokemon doing super effective damage to each other. Water Gun and Surf versus Poison Sting and Sludge Bomb right here. And that does quite a bit of damage, but I think Tapu Fini might be able to take this. But Clodsire looking to get the hard switch advantage. Obviously, having a Nidoqueen against a Alolan Ninetales that has Charm, mind you, not Powder Snow, is going to be very ideal. And I think the Clodsire is going to be able to outpace as well. The question is, can they get to 3 more Sludge Bombs before they get Water Gun down? That is the tall order here, as we might see. Oh, a no shield on the Surf. They do survive, which means they get to another Sludge Bomb in time, and Clodsire coming in clutch right here, able to survive and get themselves switch or 1-0 shield advantage, which is huge. Shiftry now looking to go for Leaf Blade before any attempt to throw a Moonblast can be achieved. This Leaf Blade's going to be taking out the Tapu Fini. Alright, counter swap right into Nidoqueen, and we do see the Golisopod come in. So Nidoqueen going to try to take out Golisopod desperately before 2 liquidations can land, as liquidation's going to do a lot of super effective damage. It won't one-shot, but still, if you add up the Shadow Claws, it is a bunch, and they got a shield there with Aerial Ace. This is getting devastating here. They have to throw the Poison Fang, and they get to it in time, but lose CMP liquidation. Is this going to be no, it's just an Aerial Ace. That's huge. And unfortunately, they threw the Poison Fang, so they're going to go ahead and let this go in terms of damage being done so that they can maybe farm down, which they can. And now it's going to be a race to get to a Poison Fang here against the Alolan Ninetales. Here we go. This is going to do a ton of super effective damage, and we'll have to see if they decide to swap into Shiftry now. Oh no, they don't need to. They can just, yeah, the opponent decides to throw. Shiftry, though, has the bulk because it is Ultra League, and Snarl has the fast move in order to get to a Leaf Blade here. So that is going to be a good game, very well played. Able to come back from a very tough situation. Ultimately, I think that was because of the Tapu Fini to Clodsire mid-game. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Alright, moving into the next one, we have Shiftry on the lead versus Heliolisk, a shiny one at that. Nice little flex over there as they counter swap into Clodsire now to get ahead on energy. The Heliolisk looking to throw a Breaking Swipe, apply that attack debuff, and then probably swap in a different Pokemon here, but they're not. They're deciding to stay in. This is punishing as they can go ahead and go for Earthquake, and it doesn't matter how many Breaking Swipes you do. Earthquake is a hard-hitting ground-type move that will be forcing shields here. So Clodsire loving this situation. Maybe they have a good answer in the back for Shiftry, but they throw a Bulldoze right there. Very interesting, as they will now swap into Mandibuzz, and Clodsire here is going to go ahead and go for Sludge Bombs. And now it's a question of, this was obviously their second answer to Shiftry, but it's a question of what else is in the back, and do they need Shiftry to have some health on it, or do they need the Nidoqueen? So they're going to go ahead and stay in. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and swap in a Nidoqueen. They're reading that maybe Shiftry can potentially win this if they get rid of the Mandibuzz here, as they can do a lot of damage with Poison Fang, but they're going to have to start giving up shields here at some point, because Mandibuzz is putting in some work here with foul plays, as it gained a lot of energy in that matchup versus Clodsire, as Poison Fang now going to be coming through, applying that debuff, doing great neutral damage. And for a low energy cost charge move, it used to be better, by the way, for those of you who don't remember the days of Walrein and Nidoqueen meta in the Great League. Poison Fang got a nerf. We do see a counter swap back into Heliolisk, so clearly Nidoqueen is core breaking them in some fashion, as they will decide to shield. They're going to counter swap into Shiftry now, looking to go for the Leaf Blade, as they're going to be forced to no shield here, as the Breaking Swipe won't do that much damage. But yeah, the Leaf Blade right here, I think might be enough, but with that attack debuff, maybe they can still farm down. No, it's definitely enough. Leaf Blade hits like a truck, everyone. Final Pokemon is Shadow Granbull, so good thing they kept their poisons alive, because clearly this was the play. And it was a good read that they didn't swap out of Heliolisk right away for a reason, and this was it. They had a good answer to Shiftry in the back, and Nidoqueen gets the farm down. It's now Mandibuzz versus Clodsire here, but Clodsire with the Poison Sting fast move, very high energy gain, gets to the Sludge Bomb in time. Oh, it didn't KO! Oh no, Clodsire! You might get KO'd here. It's going to be a race. Let's see who gets to it in time. I wasn't keeping track of Mandabuzz's energy. No, Mandabuzz is going to take it. Well, maybe Clodsire can survive an Aerial Ace. I don't think it does. That's going to be a good game. Very well played. Close one. All right, moving into the next one here. We have Shiftry on the lead versus Heliolisk once again. Did I accidentally put the second battle? Oh, this is not a shiny one. Not a shiny, it's not the same battle. I have been known in the past to accidentally put in, because I get submitted battles. Sometimes they're all in one clip, and sometimes they're all individuals. So I sometimes put in multiples of the same one by accident. So we're going to go ahead and shield. Or the person submitting maybe accidentally did it as well. But Golisopod right here takes a lot of damage from Leaf Blade. They obviously have good answers in the back to Heliolisk. So they're going to go ahead and stay in this matchup. They did want to try to swap out and catch the Aerial Ace on Clodsire. We saw that switch right there, but unfortunately the Snarl hadn't finished. So they're going to go ahead and look to throw Leaf Blade, but here comes an Aerial Ace to an unshielded Shiftry. And while Shiftry can put out a lot of damage, it is a glass cannon, and it gets hit pretty hard, as they do have double Leaf Blades ready to go. So they can easily take Switch right here. No need to really swap out, as they do take down Golisopod, and in comes Virizion. So Clodsire is going to go ahead and come in, saving energy there on Shiftry. And they obviously have two very good answers for Virizion here with Nidoqueen and Clodsire, as they can safely just constantly go for Sludge Bombs. Even if a Heliolisk swaps in to catch it, that's still quite a bit of neutral damage. And for a super effective move, only doing 50%, it obviously shows that the stats here on Clodsire went into the bulk instead of the damage, as they're going to be able to survive yet another Leaf Blade coming through from Virizion, the Jet Deer right here. But Sludge Bomb here, this is where they could potentially get a shield. We saw it did about 50%, so they obviously want to keep the Virizion alive, and they're going to have to throw a Leaf Blade here in order to KO the Clodsire. And now we're about to see a Shadow Nidoqueen unleashed on this team, and they're gonna not be in a good place. Yep, they instantly surrender. So good game, very well played. All right, moving into the next one, we have Shiftry on the lead versus Shadow Dragonite. Obviously a tough one. Foul Play does great in this situation for neutral damage, so they're going to go ahead and come in with Clodsire though and try to soak some of this this damage output, because the Shadow Dragonite is a force to be reckoned with if you can't resist it or hard counter it, as Golisopod now is going to be coming in. So at least they can do neutral damage here with the Sludge Bomb. But Clodsire is definitely going to be going down to liquidations. There's really not a lot they can do. Even if they were to go into the two shields, Golisopod is just going to outbulk them. Yeah, and that's going to be a good game. This has got to be very tough playing with all the notifications coming through that you're catching Pokemon. But you know, commitment right here to making sure you get the essentials that every battler needs for their Pokemon Go journey, right? Your Pokeballs, your Pokemon, your Stardust. If you can do it and catch it while you're playing GPL, then all the power to you. All right, we're going to see the swap out into Nidoqueen right away, anticipating the Shadow Dragonite coming in. And it's a Tapu Fini in the back. This is where things get very interesting, as both Pokemon are going to be tearing through each other's HP. But Poison Fang and Poison Jab is the superior combination as they let it go through. This is now a devastating opportunity for Nidoqueen to put the pressure here on Shadow Dragonite on the back end. Shiftry as well. Landing a Foul Play might just be the game, as we're going to see even a Leaf Blade potentially, depending if they can get 2 Poison Fangs down or only 1. Shadow Dragonite desperately has to shield, and you guys are about to see the lack of bulk that a Shadow Dragonite has right here. They're going to go ahead and no shield. They're going to trust in Shiftry with energy to close this game, as Snarl is going to gain energy very quickly, and as you guys can see, Leaf Blade might just do it. They're going to go ahead and shield the charge move, but they do have I think Leaf Blade does it. I'm being completely honest here. With the debuff and it being Shadow, yeah, they're going to go ahead and throw it. If they get the shield here, I think they can go for Foul Play because they have enough energy. Yeah, they do have enough. Yep, they can go for Foul Play, and that's going to be a good game. This is what Shiftry did back in 2020, and it's rising again at the end of 2023. Boom! It just dominates when it gets energy. Good game. All right, moving into the next one. We have Shiftry on the lead versus Golisopod here. Okay, so obviously got to watch out for Aerial Ace, but they can hit very hard with Leaf Blade, as we've seen this matchup before. Now, I believe it was more of a mid-game matchup and not specifically on the lead. So I think Shiftry had a bit more energy than the Golisopod did, so we'll have to see how this plays out in a fresh fight. But ultimately, both Pokemon are going to be doing a lot of damage to each other, and Shiftry is going to be able to outpace because of the energy gain from Snarl. It's a beautiful fast-moving combination, as they will counter swap now into Clodsire here to catch the charge move, and hopefully they caught the Aerial Ace right there. We'll find out. It is. That's a beautiful catch on Clodsire, and a counter swap into Unova Stunfisk, the Pancake, coming into the Ultra League. This is a throwback. This is a spicy little set of battles here, but the Pancake, unfortunately, has to watch out for Earthquake, as Clodsire is about to show who the true cousin of the Mud Boys is. So let me know if you guys think this was a pain point on Twitter. I think in like when Unova Stunfisk came out, it was a big discussion. Is Unova Stunfisk a Mud Boy, or what I think, boom, a Glass Boy, because it's electric ground, which makes glass. So I called it a Glass Boy and not a Mud Boy, because Mud Boys are water ground, because that makes mud, right? Poison ground, I don't know what that makes, but it's a cousin of the Mud Boys, so we'll just take that, as they're going to go ahead and face off against the Shadow Steelix here. But you guys let me know. Pancake, is it a Mud Boy? Is it honorary Mud Boy? Is it a cousin of the Mud Boys? Or is it a Glass Boy? And bonus points if you say Glass Boy, because I'm very biased that it's that. But there was I don't think I'll be able to find the tweet, but there was a big discussion about that a long time ago, and maybe you guys remember that if you've been around. But Nidoqueen right here, looking to put the pain on Shadow Steelix with a Shadow Earth power coming right through. Boom! So much damage. A counter swap now into Golisopod, and then Nidoqueen is going on a tear, as the Steelix is not going to be able to escape the damage that is about to come for them with this Shiftry, as they can safely no shield, come in and farm down with Snarl, and then one Leaf Blade should do it. Shiftry again with Leaf Blade is absolutely deadly here, as they can easily go for the charge move against the Steelix, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. A beautiful throwback and a beautiful showcase of this old meta grass Pokemon. Good game. Alright, moving into the next battle, we have Shiftry on the lead versus Sylveon. Obviously a bad lead, but they do have double poison in the back, so we're going to see that Clodsire go ahead and come through and look to load up on energy, as the opponent is going to go ahead and swap out into Giratina Altered. So another situation where Shiftry could potentially farm down, but unlike the matchup against Jellicent that we saw earlier, Giratina Altered can do neutral damage with Dragon Claw, so it's all going to be a matter of what health point it's at and how much energy Shiftry really wants to get, because Clodsire is not going to be able to come out on top here, because Earthquake just isn't doing as much damage. Swampert does have the potential to beat Giratina Altered, but that's because the Earthquake does significantly more damage than Clodsire's here, but Giratina Altered also can't really farm down a Clodsire from this health, so it's forced to throw energy. So this is a good position to still be in, because now they can get themselves the 2-to-1 shield advantage if they can get to this Earthquake in time, or maybe even just throw the Sludge Bomb. No, the opponent knows it. They're desperately trying to get rid of Clodsire, as it will, I don't think it KOs. Oh, it does KO, but now this is the opportunity for Shiftry to farm down, and this is the situation of you gotta read how much damage Dragon Claw is going to do, and is it worth it? And I have the feeling that they don't want to get hit twice. So we will, oh, they might get the Snarl down. Oh, they do get the Snarl down. This is huge. They can go for a Leaf Blade now against Sylveon, apply some neutral pressure. They will get hit with the Charm Fast move, but now they can swap out back into Nidoqueen and get ahead on energy with Poison Jab, and it is going to be Gengar in the back. This is going to be a dangerous battle, as both Pokemon can do a lot of damage to each other, but as long as Nidoqueen double shields, I think we will be able to see a back-to-back Earth Power right here. Here comes the first one. If you're the Gengar, you gotta be questioning life itself right now. Oh, they do decide to shield. This is going to be a race now. Can they get to double Shadow Punch in time, or will the Nidoqueen get to the Earth Power? If Nidoqueen gets the Earth Power, I think it's going to be a good game. Let's find out. They get to it in time. Gengar is about to face the force of nature right here as Earth Power, boom, one-shots it. Sylveon comes back in, but Poison Jab and Poison Fang are going to be deleting this Sylveon. They can easily swap into, actually, they may not want to, oh, maybe they do. No, they can, oh, they do want to swap. Yep, they want to swap and throw the Leaf Blade. That is the play right there. That is the safe call because you had that energy stored, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played. All right, moving into the next one. We have, let's see how many more battles we got. I think we got 3. Tapu Fini, really good lead right here as they're going to get shredded by this Leaf Blade. Obviously, Tapu Fini might be core broken potentially. In the back, maybe there's another Pokemon weak to Shiftry, whether it's the dark typing or the grass typing. But either way, Shiftry putting in a lot of hurt as they're going to go ahead and shield the potential Moonblast, as that would do super effective damage, but the opponent decided to throw Surf as a shield bait, but Shiftry does not care. This is where Shiftry gets out of control if you cannot stop it. When it starts overloading on energy to throw against you on the back end. So let's see what was back there. It was a Shadow Nidoqueen. So Shiftry right here, this is a tough position to be in, because if you stay in, you get farmed down. But if you swap out, which they're deciding to do, you now have to face off against Earth Power. But I guess with Clodsire, that's going to be totally fine. And sure enough, they were core broken. There was a Jellicent in the back. This makes a lot of sense why they decided to make the choices early of staying in with Tapu Fini, as the Earthquake will land. So what they really need to do is come in like before they did against Jellicent in a previous battle. Come in with Shiftry and hard farm down, because you need to get those Leaf Blades off to get the final shields from Nidoqueen and hope that your own Nidoqueen can potentially win in the end game with an Earth Power. So Earthquakes are going to be landing. This Jellicent has to throw Surfs, and this is now a very good opportunity for them to potentially get the 1-to-1 shield scenario. As Surf is not enough damage, they're going to go ahead and throw the Earthquake here, and this is beautiful. Now, Nidoqueen could read that, you know what, I'm just going to trust in Nidoqueen to try to win. No, they shielded. That is even better. They swap out into their own Nidoqueen. And here we go. They come in with Shiftry. They counter swap into Nidoqueen. The Peekaboo move, catching the Poison Fang right here. That's huge for this matchup, because now they can easily take this with their own Poison Fang and fast move down. The other Nidoqueen has to throw double Earth Power in order to win. Maybe not double Earth Power. Obviously, they could shield bait again. But this is the tough question. They're going to go ahead and shield. It is going to be another Poison Fang. Switch Clock is not back up. Here we go. This could be the Earth Power. That was a lot of energy, but now it's going to be a race between Shiftry. It was the Earth Power. Boom! It's going to be a race between Shiftry and Nidoqueen, and the Shiftry takes it. Snarl remains king of energy gain here as the Leaf Blade are going to be taking out the Nidoqueen. Oh, and there's still a Jellicent. I forgot about that. Jellicent coming in, but thankfully Shiftry will be able to survive the Shadow Ball just barely. No, they go down the Hex. Oh, good game. All right, moving into the next one, Shiftry versus Empoleon. Now this is spicy. Haven't seen Empoleon in a long time. I missed the Ultra League Premier Cup. Safe swap into Clefable. Well, we know what the Nidoqueen is going to go ahead and do right here. It's going to shred this Clefable apart, and having access to Earth Power on the back end is going to be very advantageous for them, as they will decide to throw Poison Fang. But unfortunately, because of the timings of everything here, Clefable might be able to get to another meet. Oh, no. No, sir. That did a lot more damage than I thought. My goodness, they do get to the Earth Power in time, getting themselves the 2-to-1 shield advantage. And we're going to see that Shiftry put in work. Now, Empoleon does have access to Drill Peck, as it will do super effective damage. The question is, do you want to give up a shield on it? It's not going to do that much. Yeah, they decide to let it go. 50%, not that much. Oh, there's a Shadow Machamp in the back as well, but Clodsire is going to come in and say, thank you very much. I am a sponge, as you will only be doing resisted damage here, and Sludge Bomb can do a lot of work. Now the Shiftry does have to be careful, because if they don't get rid of this Machamp and relatively quickly, it could counter swap back out into a Empoleon, get ahead on energy, and then Machamp might be able to close this game out. So let's see how this plays out. Sludge Bomb is going to land. They're going to be able to get to another one in time. Nope, they're going to go ahead and let this next charge move go through. I think they're hoping to have the back-to-back, or just delay the switch clock, actually, which is a better call, because then they can swap right into Shiftry. If they decide to let this go through, right, they bring in Shiftry into Empoleon. That's the best case scenario. Here we go. Swap right in, and then now it's going to be double Leaf Blade. But this Empoleon is putting in a lot of work with Waterfall. This is a dangerous situation, everyone, as Leaf Blade here is only neutral damage. A second one comes through. It's going to be up to Clodsire to throw the Earthquake in order to win this game, because Sludge Bomb will not be enough. Empoleon fully farms down, but the Clodsire gets to the Earthquake after the last fast move goes through, and this is going to be a good game, very well played. Boom, down it goes. 2 shields still remaining. Alright, moving into the next one. We have Shiftry on the lead versus Virizion. Tell you what, this is not a good matchup, I'll tell you that. They're going to go ahead and swap into Clodsire, as we will see a Steelix come in. Very interesting. The Steelix not going to be able to get to the Dragon Tail in time, so this Earthquake will be maximum power, which is where we might see the first shield of this game. There it is. The reason being, if you're a Steelix user and you know you're going to get hit with super effective damage in a situation like this, you can just safely shield the first one, because you know you're probably going for breaking swipes after, which also gives the Clodsire the right to no shield, because you know they're going to go for breaking swipes because they shield. It's this whole mind game thing. Maybe if you're the Steelix, you just throw the Earthquake and just, yeah. Anyways, mind games on mind games. We won't go down that rabbit hole, but Clodsire here is going to be tickling Steelix. Let me tell you what, I love Steelix in the Ultra League. By far one of my favorite Pokemon to use. It's just so much fun, so bulky. And I'm glad it got the update. In fact, I will say I think Breaking Swipe might be a bit too strong. It's very, very good. And we'll just leave it at that. So we'll have to see if the new season brings along... Oh, this Clodsire is Mudshot. Oh, man. I just saw it right now. Someone might have commented earlier that it's not Mudshot, it's a Poison Sting. And I caught up to it at 27 minutes. So I got you. I read that. But Nidoqueen, they took Switch right here, so this is obviously a very good situation for them. They can let the first Leaf Blade go through. Won't do that much. Oh, it's a Stone Edge. Interesting. Now they're going to go ahead and have Shiftry come into the Tentacruel. But Tentacruel is in a position where they could farm down, but we'll have to see how much damage Leaf Blade is going to do. That's the whole question right here. And it's actually quite a bit. And with Acid Spray, things get very dangerous very quickly, because the Tentacruel is going to have Scald on the back end here, and Shiftry won't be able to make it to another Leaf Blade in time, so Tentacruel might just be able to fully farm down and not give up another shield, which is devastating for the Nidoqueen. They're going to go ahead and go for Poison Fang right away. I feel like, oh man, I feel like they could have potentially farmed down, but we'll find out. The opponent decides to shield, and oh yeah, they definitely weren't going to be able to, so they're going to go ahead and safely shield the Scald right here and farm down, and that's looking to be a good game. They got an Acid Spray though, a counter swap into Virizion, which is going to try to get the final shield here from Nidoqueen, because the Tentacruel probably has a Scald locked and loaded, so that's looking to be the play. They have to no shield. They have to survive. What's it going to be? It is going to be Sacred Sword, and that is not enough to KO, so Nidoqueen is going to be able to throw the Poison Fang here, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. So well played by the opponent to try to get that final shield, but ultimately, Nidoqueen remains queen. Good game. That might have been the final one. That was. Haha! That was the final one. So, Shallow to Charlemagne. There it is. Charlemagne 102 for sharing these battles with us. And yeah, really great showcase of Shiftry. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.